problem 12. Consider the model below. What equation is being represented by this model? Well, let's look at our key. The white rectangles are x, so I have 3 x's, x plus x plus x, or 3x on this side, equals each white square is 1, so the value on the right side would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12 total. So 3x equals 12 is the equation. What value of x would make this model true? Well, we can solve for the value of x to answer that question. We have two sides of our equation. I'm multiplying x times 3, so I can undo that operation with the inverse operation, which is division. Divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so on the left side I just get x, and on the right side I get 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So we believe x equals the value of 4. When I divided both sides by 3 in my equation, this is what it would look like on the model. I'm dividing this side of the equation, these 3 x's, into 3 groups. Each group has 1 x in it. So if I divide the left side into 3 equal groups, I have to divide the right side into 3 equal groups. If I divide these 12 squares into 3 equal groups, each group has 4 squares in it, or value of 4, so each group on the left has 1 x, and each group on the right has 4, so x equals 4. And then we can check our value of x by plugging it back into our original equation. 3x equals 12, so 3 times x, or 3 times 4, equals 12. 3 times 4 does equal 12, so that checks out. Problem 13. Juan's little sister is g inches tall. Juan's height, h, is 5 inches less than 3 times his sister's height. Which of the following equations best represents this situation? Now, we did some of this in MATLAB the other day. In fact, we did a problem almost exactly like this. If I were doing this problem on the test, I wouldn't focus on the answer choices. I would write my own equation and then look for the answer choices that matches my equation. So that's what I'm going to do. It says Juan's height h is, if something is, it equals. H is, h equals. What does h equal? What does Juan's height equal? It equals 5 inches less than 3 times his sister's height. So how can we express 3 times his sister's height? 3 times is clearly multiplying, so 3 times his sister's height. His sister's height is unknown, but it's a variable g, so 3 times g. 3 times his sister's height is 3 times g, or 3g. But his height doesn't equal 3 times his sister's height. It equals 5 inches less than 3 times his sister's height. So subtract 5 from the 3g, and we have Juan's height. H equals 3g minus 5. Let's see if we can find an equation that looks exactly like that. H equals 3g divided by 5. That doesn't look right. G equals 3h minus 5. That doesn't look right. 3g plus h equals 5. That's not right. H equals 3g minus 5. So that's our equation just moved around. We have this 3g minus 5 equals h. That's equivalent to our equation. So D is the right answer choice. Okay, let's look at number 14 to see if we can do that in the minute we have. Yeah, we can. The model below represents the equation 3x equals 15. That's right, because each rectangle is x and there's 3 of them. There's 15 squares on the right, so 3x equals 15. What is the first step in finding the value of x? Well, we just did a problem where we had multiplication and we undid it. We undo multiplication with division, divide both sides by 3. The inverse operation for multiplication is division. So we can get rid of that 3x by dividing by 3, and we would just have x equals 15 divided by 3, which is 5. So we've divided the 15 squares into 3 groups, divided each side of the model into 3 groups. 1 x in each group on the left, and 5 squares in each group on the right. So we've divided the 15 squares, equally among the 5 rectangles. So that's the right answer choice.